Hey, YouTube friends, welcome. Good time zone to you. Welcome everybody in chat. They've been hanging out, waiting to get going here. And I wanted to say to YouTube friends, sorry for any disruption in my video posting. There's been some upheaval in Twitch land, and some of the connectivity between YouTube and Twitch was disrupted. So my workflow was disrupted, but I'm going to get back on it, and hopefully you'll start seeing a regular string of content again up on the old tubes. And the content today is this here premiere draft of Midnight Hunt. We've been having a pretty good week. Went trophy, and then 2-1 yesterday in a traditional. I'll be doing a traditional again later today in the invitational, so thought I would just do a premiere here and not sweat the clock quite as much as I had to yesterday. But if you don't want to sweat your Magic purchases, you know where to go. That's my sponsor, cardkingdom.com. They got everything you need. Just use my affiliate links, then they know you got there from here. Helps keep me on the air. Our gems, I had gotten them back over, like, we were at 7,000 at close of business yesterday until I had a momentary lapse of judgment. I just went temporarily insane and spent 3,000 of my gems on bling. So today we're going to use some pumpkin sleeves, and we are going to use a pumpkin pet, and I'm going to play with emotes on and pets on, and we're going to see how long I can go before I get so tilted by something related to emotes and pets being on that I go to the settings and turn it off. So I can't place any bets on that one since I am the decider, but you can decide for yourself how soon that's going to happen. And I'm going to click this here and figure out how soon our draft is going to happen. Hopefully right away here. Mama used her charm. Mama used her wallet. She made it rain subs, and I relented. I had promised that if we went 3-0, we would buy the sleeves, and instead we went 2-1, but we really didn't even think we were going to go 2-1. And Mama plied me with gift subs. So easy. Well, black rare removal is going to be where we start. Interesting. I've never really seen the creature tokens get -2/-2 until end of turn, but obvious. I meant to just select it and then take a look at the rest of the pack. But kind of the not the joke, but the purpose of a -2/-2 effects are pretty common in black, but by making it tokens, it's really somewhat of a decay plant, right? That this is about, oh, army of tokens building up, you say. Gonna alpha me in a couple turns, you say, right? Bloodline Culling or Organ Hoarder, pack one, pick one. Organ Hoarder, I think, would be better than, I mean, because this is double black. At the end of the day, it's 1-for-1 removal. It's instant speed. I mean, it has the second mode, but again, that second mode is rarely used. I mean, I took this because it was removal in like the best color in the pack, but Organ Hoarder's, yeah, better than this because there's plenty of black removal floating around, but this is a value engine like little else going on in the set at really almost any rarity. I mean, you take this over that stupid rare draw cards. Like, yeah, this is just so good. Yeah, if you wanted to collection build or rare draft, you could certainly justify that over the Organ Hoarder. But if we're talking about at a Pro Tour or trying to win at day 2 in a Grand Prix, I'm on Organ Hoarder 100%. And here we go, Organ Hoarder 100%. This is how we end up black-blue when it just drafts start like this. But I'm not going to marry this. We can get out of this. We can get out of Bloodline Culling, especially. Organ Hoarder, I love being in blue because it can pivot to so many different decks. We could end up in a blue-white deck, blue-red spells. So, like, again, I feel like the best card here is probably Captain, narrowly over the Dominance. This can be good, but it can be tough. Yeah, Farmer is probably better than Dominance. I didn't notice the Farmer there. So, like, if we're talking about green cards, Farmer is certainly on the table. I felt... I don't know. Classically, I just don't agree with Media that this is much better. I think this is... yeah, this is better in in certain decks, but that this is the more generically good card. Certainly I think it's close. But there you go. I let it wind down on that. We can take this one, or Startle and Corpse Cobble, both being here. What do you think? This is a very interesting pick, because you got... people are coming around. Well, like, Startle is no longer a secret to anybody but the quick draft bots. I love this direction. I just don't know which of these cards is the best hedge. Cobble is not amazing, but it's pretty signally. If we, not here, but like if it goes, if it, like somebody will get into this deck, of course. Yeah, we'll go ahead. We'll take the Veteran. I'm in for that. Although maybe it should just be the Startle, since I really want to be blue. Wow, another interesting pick. We got Revenge, if we really want to be blue and stick on that front. But there's also Awakener, which is really great in black-white. And so we can take an Awakener and... Yeah, I know we want to be blue, but just because we have the Hoarder. Boy, this is just good enough. This is just good enough. You don't think this is a pull? I think this is a pull. I think this card is stunning. Like, whenever I get this out on turn 1 and am activating it by turn 4, it is like kill or take over the game. That being said, Revenge of the Drowned is excellent. Obviously, I'm taking it. But that was not an easy pick at all. Neither... Yeah, this is a little easier. I think we take Revenge number 2. Eaten a lot. Like, this... With the white seems open. I mean, this makes black seem open, though. Yeah, well, this is the choice. But on color, on where we're at in terms of color... I would rather be 3 blue cards, 2 white cards, and 1 black card than 2 of each. So it's really a color balance preference here. I would rather be significantly ahead on something like blue, and then still, you know, and now we can take the Cobble and still consider getting back into black. I like that hedge over Flare or Amalgam or any of the green hedging, although... Yeah, I'll take, like, the thing is, I think what's going to happen is the good black we have passed is going to land pretty near us downstream, and then we're going to not get it back much. And yeah, none of this is impressive enough to, like, take a green card. And Corpse Cobble isn't super impressive either, but it's tricky. It's tricksy. You can do cool things with it. Sanctifier here is fine. I'm coming up on Sanctifier. I was okay with it, especially in a blue-white deck, especially in a deck that has graveyard casting, right? You're casting stuff out of your graveyard. Then this is great. But I was kind of underrating the play pattern of, oh, you've got to land second from the top. Get it out of the way. Like, we're used to getting lands off the top of our library with various Scry and Surveil and stuff, but the Sanctifier getting a land 2 down is pretty powerful for that effect. Traveler here over Gaze or Exorcism. We're not best of 3. Yeah, I guess Gaze for blue-white is fair. That's fair. Traveler is pretty underwhelming, and we're more blue-white than black anything. I agree, Media. There we go. There's me agreeing with Media. It happens. This is just Vault Progress. Yeah, I mean, red is super open, but we're too late on it, even if it really, really is. Larder harder. This might be the card I've come up farthest on in the format overall from the beginning. It did not look like it did enough, but it does enough. Green wide open. Anybody in green is just going to get their pick of cards, it seems. Specialist, interesting, but not better than just another Organ Hoarder. Neither is Silversmith or Abomination. Really looking like we are headed towards the blue-white plan here, but I suppose we really only have Search Party Captain, Sanctifier, and Veteran, so I don't really know that. We're blue. We're going to take Organ Hoarder and know that we're blue, and then figure it out from there. But I don't want to over-marry white either, because our white is, whatever. Pretty good, pretty good, pretty good. You know, it's just 3 pretty good cards. The only time Hoarder is not great is if it shows up pack 3 and you're nowhere near blue. That's maybe even pack 2, you know. Dreadhound, certainly playable. So is the Bolt. So is the Startle. So it's Startle keeps us widest. Well, Bolt really keeps us widest, but we know we're blue, so we could just take a Startle. I think I'm on Startle. This is obviously the more powerful card. This goes in anything, but so does the Startle, and Startle does more. Yeah, it's the dog is tempting. We don't have any Startles yet, though, and I really love having this card. It's definitely not Candle. I'll take Dreadhound. It's a powerful, powerful effect, and Startle is common. We're just likely to see more of those. I'm going to take an Eaten Alive here. And that's over the Triskaidekaphile. This is all right, but I'll play this. 1/3 that eventually starts drawing cards is fine, but the 1/3 part is just whatever. So we're taking Eaten. And I think we're letting... Oh, I think we're letting go of the white. Hey, look, Borrowed Time. I mean, the other option is Search Party Captain, or we can take a Firmament Sage, but again, this is just not the way you want to draw cards. Like, compare this to just Organ Hoarder. It's like, it's comical. Well, I'm taking the Borrowed Time. There's, you think we need to commit, but I don't want to play this card. This card, I don't like playing this card. Although if we end up white, we might want to flip it back and forth. I'm going to take the Borrowed Time just because of how little I want to play anything else in this pack. But I hear you, Media. I might be being greedy with my lack of commitment there. I know Media doesn't like a crawl. I like a crawl. Could also take an Evolving Wilds and then maybe set up splashing if we just wanted to splash Borrowed Time. But hard to pass the crawl. Really? We got one of these already. I mean, yeah, I'm taking the crawl. I think we're going to be black, and I think we want that crawl. Zombie. Cut Purse, underwhelming, as we've talked about. I could just take Cover Up. I could take a random 2-power 2-drop. Note the complete lack of 2s. We might need to just take this due to curve. So, I'm going to do that. I hope to not play this. But if this is our 2 situation, we're gonna. So I'm gonna make sure we have at least something to do there. And then now we got to get a little clarity. Like, Cover Up is a sure play. You like Hostile? I've never, whenever this got played against me, it was just like, oh, you're gonna take 1,000,000 years and make a thing that I can then deal with. You know, like I'm pretty unimpressed by this card, but it is a mythic, so we can take that for that reason. Cobble or Blade Brand. These are actually pretty interesting comparison. We have Cobble number 1, which probably makes Blade Brand number 1 more important than Cobble number 2. So I'm going to take the Brand. I mean, Cobble, you can just run, if you get 2 of those, it's going to be a disaster. It's like, what am I cobbling? I don't have anything to cobble. Stormrider Spirit or Behemoth? I'm going to go with Behemoth. That's narrow, close call there for me, but I went with Behemoth. This is a bleh. I'm gonna take the Gaze. Yeah, it does look like there would have been a great blue-red deck, but you see how we got here. You see how we got where we got. And I still like I still like what we're up to. Crawl gets 2 things, 2 bodies, and 2 counters. Don't discount the counters. I'm not taking Larder. It's going to wheel, and I don't think I want a second one anyway. You see we have one? Like, these get terrible in multiples. Like, you really just ever only want 1 in play, unless for some reason you need 1/3 defenders. But Diregraph Horde is a linchpin of the archetype. Like, we're absolutely snapping the Horde. And yeah, I get Media's appreciation for the Gaze in blue-white, where you have a lot of graveyard spells that you're going to load it up with, but less so in something like this deck. Trapper, not us anymore. I'm just on Consider. There's another one Media's convinced me on. I thought of this as more like an opt, very replaceable, but I actively want a Consider or 2 in blue decks now. And when my opponents cast them in the mid-late game, I'm like, dang it, like when we're in top deck wars. More Cobbles, but again, and Moonrager Slash for all you on the blue-red plan. That deck just keeps getting more and more nutty, but we are so on the 2s, right? We haven't really added to it. So happy to see a 2-drop. Oh my god. More, please. Like, what are the 2-drops we want? Give me a Siege Zombie if I can take requests, or heck, if I can take requests, give me the uncommon 2/1 Tapper. But black and blue 2-drop creatures is what I'd like to see more of. We will take another Horde, though. Not the worst. Another Horde, but we're gonna have to pass this for an Awakener. We do need early creatures, not a 2-drop, but effectively a 2-drop. Would happily play a 3rd Horde. It's just not the right spell for us here. And like this Blood Thief, it's so much better than an Observer, but I just we actually have, we're low on 3s too. Maybe I should just take a Blood Thief here. This deck is weird. I mean, I would take the 2, but we also literally need 3s. So I'm going to take the slightly better card. This is playable, but not great. Playable, but not great. Now hitting the back-to-back 3s, I wish I'd taken the 2. Just nothing for us anymore. We ended up fighting. Not surprisingly, we're fighting for blue and black. And, yeah, I mean, the meta is shifting. There are reasons to, like, really look out for red. Excuse me, I'm a little gas in the belly or something. But, you pick up free stuff like this. You get as many perforators as you want. You know, anyway, there are reasons to look out for getting into red. I should have just taken Vault Progress there, but just wanted to. But the key has been, as I observed yesterday, in my experience, being spells oriented. No matter what you're pairing red with, even if it's mono red, you really got to do the spells thing to have it be an effective player in the format. Frenzy. Lunar Frenzy. Look at me remembering card names. So this deck is medium for blue-black. Definitely underpowered. Probably going to play both these no way outs and just try to get lucky and empty their hand and just win on the card advantage of things like no way out. I like no way out type effects in underpowered decks when you feel like, this deck didn't quite get there. Yeah, I guess this is fine in this deck. Maybe like when I've seen this before, people really haven't had a good zombie token presence, but this thing eating up decay tokens is fine, right? All right, I'm in. Pumpkin sleeves. We don't have pumpkin sleeves. Who would buy oh no. And all this scrolling too. We got these new sleeves too. You sure you want these? It's Wolf Week on Starting Soon Song of the Day. Spoilers. We'll do that tomorrow. All right. I couldn't talk you out of the pumpkin sleeves. I'm shocked. Shocked, I tell you. Well, at least that that 4-drop uncommon 2/3 in blue that I passed up, I don't think would have made the cut even if we had taken it. And 44, let's see what we got up here. And check our overall health. 14-13 is the split. Cutting a cover up. Cutting the gazes. I don't think they're the deck. This is the deck for it. Now, like the Observer really sucks, but it's one of our 2-drop creatures. We're keeping it. Arrogant Outlaw could go as being fairly generic at 3, but really I'd rather have the Outlaw than the Scoundrel. Well, we do have 2 Diagraph Hordes, but you're right that we don't really spit out the tokens here. We've got 2 Revenge, 2 No Way Out. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This dies into a token, but really only 6 spells that actually spit out tokens. So I could see cutting the Behemoth. I just don't like the Scoundrel. I talked about why I'm doing 2 No Way Outs. War Furnace, I'm doing 2 No Way Outs because I don't love this deck. And if you get lucky with these, if we go turn 3 No Way Out, turn 4 No Way Out for their final 2 cards, we win those games. This is a real liability if you draw it late, but it can be a very effective way for an underpowered deck to have a puncher's chance. Hey, Pablo. While we're talking about it, I like thinking of it maybe as an 18th land, as somebody else suggested. Maybe I'll just say it was true to give back some Mrs. Tiggs juju. I still have that. No. Oh, there you go. So True was saying liked it as an 18th land, which is fair. I've not been impressed by this card when I've seen it, but I've only seen it like once, and it was early in the format. But what I was just saying is that the sacrificing decay tokens seems to make this card fine-ish. But I'm also fine with just cutting it for now, maybe trying it later. Yeah, we would just add a normal land if we didn't think that the... Like, if it tapped for black, obviously, well, then it's kind of a strictly better, so that's not a fair comparison. But if it, like, if it entered tapped and tapped for black, it would be a pretty easy run. And so Behemoth is another called cut here because of the lack of token sources, even though these produce double. Yeah, I guess both Baneblade and Behemoth have the pretty underwhelming for something that just dies to removal problem, but we'll go with a slightly cheaper one in the deck. Yeah. All right, let's go with this then. And I'm going to call it one way out. Oh, no, we're going to call it two ways out. Well, not our most impressive effort, and if you had, if we could time machine it, we would just force the old red-blue in that one. It would have been a heck of a red-blue spells deck. But this can win some games. Let's prove it. And let's predict it. How do you think we're going to do, on average? The low end of this deck is obviously pretty medium, and we have some curve issues. But if the magic gods are with us and we get a little lucky, we can manage a lot, I think. Yeah, that's why I say that's a fair comment, River, is I'm talking about the worst end of my deck. River's talking about the best end of my deck, which just bookends the point, kind of literally. If we draw the better end of our stuff, we'll be fine. If we draw our worst cards or get punished for sketchy curve stuff, we're going to stumble. Hey, this is a keep. Unblinking Observer blocking something and Bladebrand to kill seems fantastic for these two cards. What is that? Oh, it's my own pet. I actually have to enable emotes, though. I guess we get to see our pumpkin even with emotes disabled, so there's that. But I'll play with emotes enabled. We'll see how it goes. Hey, Unblinking Observer for a turn 3 revenge, also not the worst. This is kind of sort of a ramp spell if you have the cards for it. Talk about your blue-red spells deck. This thing can get way out of hand. Kind of makes me want to be a little bit more aggressive. But if we attack with the Observer, we can't hold up the Revenge. If we don't attack with the Observer, we're kind of telegraphing that we're going to hold something up. And also, this thing suggests that they're not even necessarily going to cast us a creature to do it. Wait, oh, Media's. We knew Media would be irritated by the pumpkin immediately if that was a betting line. Yeah, I'm sure that's it. I mean, that's exactly it. True. How can we make a cheap new pet? Let's put pumpkin heads on the one we already have. You know that's it, and I fell for it. You suckered me, mama. All right, sorry, but back to this. I'm going to attack. If they play us a creature that we can revenge, we can always untap and revenge it. And if they don't, I'll really wish I had at least attacked with this thing. Yeah, we could cycle Blade at the end of the turn as well, depending on what they throw down. Eventually, they're going to need to make some creatures, though. And if they successfully do the spell thing and make some big elemental tokens or whatever, we might want to have that Blade brand. But I think cycling it makes sense if they don't give us a revenge target. And they haven't. The other, except trying to cycle into open mana can be a blowout. Like if I go Blade Brand on my Observer and they just even 3 damage it, we're 2-for-1ing ourselves. I'm not going to do that. I would probably Corpse Cobble if they pinged it, especially if they were using the Neonate, because it would deny them the card draw and give us a 2/2. So absolutely. I mean, they could exile holding up a single red, and if they draw that one uncommon shock card, they could cast it. That's what they're going for. I hope they find it, because then I'll absolutely do the Corpse Cobble play. Still nothing to do here, though. Still not going to play Blade Brand into open mana. Revenge makes me feel comfortable about attacking. If they create some sort of flash creature that I'm not thinking about, I can revenge it. This is a Bizarro game. Observer attacking 10 times for the win? Is that what's going to happen here? See, so now we could just let that go to the bottom, but truly with nothing much else to do here, I kind of like Cobble and Blade Brand even now. Cycle it. I'm gonna do this. And cycle while shields are down. I've been trying to cycle, but not wanting to do it into open mana. And it still leaves them now with an even better creature that they're having trouble. They're trying to hold up instant. They're trying to play at instant speed here, and I'm saying, well, I'm just going to not do anything except attack you with my one creature. And now we can even keep attacking into that. But I'm going to go Dreadhound with shields down. But they can't even block, so I can do it after combat. Woof. There goes our interaction. We got some here, though. And we got this. A Revenge of the Drowned would be great for Oppo to spend 4 mana to set us back on 6. But they don't really have... Like, Red Burn's not going to get it done, but Bounce is pretty good against 6-drops when you're looking to go long. Now, if we can untap with our Bounce available, this should be... fun attacks, and we will offer, of course, the 2/2 for either. Well, see if they want to block. I assume they will. Somewhere. Hey, Math. And if they block on the Dreadhound, as I expect, we pop one back to hand and maybe even get a scoop off it. And if somehow we get countered trying to bounce, well, then it just trades for both. This is fine. Yeah, they might. Exactly. That's what I'm trying to think through here. But we're obviously going to bounce the Infiltrator. It doesn't matter because we're going to try bouncing the Infiltrator. And then if they do by targeting this, if they have Wave, they at least don't get the extra bonus of recasting a Hoarder if they want to deny us the value of Revenge. Could be Startle. Interesting. That whole look to play top card of library, hold up 1 red, that was exactly what they were going for with the play with fire. And now we get Outlaw for some extra oomph. Bam! We're practically at Corpse Cobble lethal in terms of Dreadhound activations. Not quite, though. But after an attack, yes. Well, they can't survive the board if we get an attack through. This is what we were expecting them to have. They have it. Currently not enough. Although we get in for 5, and then this dies, and they take 6. Yeah, that was enough for them. Oh, yeah.
I like to do a little superior dance. Join me, boys.
Baby, how you feeling? Woo, child, tired of the bullshit.
Well, when they can't deal with your uncommon 6-drop, they lose. That's a pretty straightforward occurrence in limited Magic. Easy keep with something to do on 2 and a nice 5 awaiting, and we even found something else to do on 3. That's nice. Veteran on the other side. Ah, interesting. Yeah, I think with Outlaw, we say no blocks, we attack with the Angler and offer the mob for Angler, and then when they don't take it, we just Outlaw. We've got Bladebrand for next turn, so that's something, but ideally we come up with either a 2-drop so we can 2-spell, or something better to do next turn than Bladebrand. Hoarder, I would accept. Let's do that, Gdanmore. You heard Gdanmore Magic Gods. We're looking for Organ Hoarder. Hey, not Organ Hoarder, but something to do on 4 indeed. In fact, I'm going to attack with the Outlaw. The Angler just dies to the Chaplain first strike, but if we can get him to double block on Outlaw, the Revenge is a great play. And if they don't block, we have Revenge on defense, which is also a great play. With a Bladebrand alternative. Can't hit the Chaplain with the Ward. But maybe we, if they send the Luminarch, I think we accept the trade And then reset mob. This also gets us to a 1/2 flyer, which can block the chaplain. And we can even blade brand it. So, oh, you like take it there? I just like, I like the fact that we get to disturb this into something that actually takes care of a creature we currently aren't taking care of super well. All the vets. And yeah, Horde getting rid of Veteran, Chef's Kiss. Someday I'll remember that Horde gets rid of stuff, but it hasn't happened yet. I literally haven't remembered. No, one time I did. One time I was like, hey, this is good. I get to exile their quality card in the graveyard. I did have that thought once. Try to trade first. Let's see. What do we want to do? Yeah, that's fair. Sure, sure. Yeah, because then we would get... Oh, yeah, because they may go for the morning patrol, right? Very good call. I'm getting so excited about exiling the first, I'm not giving them a chance to get the second. Hat tip. Gadand more. Forcing me to overcome one of my big weaknesses, which is getting too eager to do stuff before thinking through my attacks. But this is sicko value. Sicko value. MCG got there too. Anybody who realized I should be attacking there, you got there. I didn't. I was the one being flaky. So extra, right? Why? Why? Bye mob, or bye horde. Just eat me alive. I don't really want to kill any of these. I'm just going to go zombie angler. Now this is exile, which is makes it pretty nice. They could exile the zombie and we don't get a decay. Good to see where they're at, though. They're basically out of cards now, and we still have some value left over. And this is all fine and good. We have the answers for this. Yeah, we can do that. And then, we could eat, but I also kind of like Drifter with Blade Brand, although I guess Drifter's holding off Phantom. But this is coming as well. We're going to be so hard to see these. Flying 2/1 first strike. I think I would rather Blade Brand the mob and eat alive the flying 2/1 first strike. That makes more sense to me. No, we're gonna... They're showing us they're attacking with it. They attacked with it last time, so we're gonna trade Drifter for for mob, and we get to save our Eaton. Oh, baby. Corpse Cobble, nice. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we draw a basic land, we can well, we need a swamp. If we draw a swamp, we can hard cast and have Cobble. We could just cobble here to get a 6/6. We know they're down to a final card, and it's a recent top deck. And yeah, Ward 1 on everything makes that even not play happen. So with that especially, I think Corpse Cobble is correct. What I was thinking of doing, yes, we can Corpse Cobble now to get the 6/6, but say an empty board or whatever, what we'd want to do is attack in, deal the 6 points of damage, and then before end of combat, turn them into a 6/6, right? But we don't have the line that I was hoping for, so I like making our power card right now. Has no advantage. What do you mean? Oh, same damage either way. Yeah, that's fair. I'm just locked into, when I think of Corpse Cobble and Decay tokens, I think about that line. That's a line I'm looking to execute. That's why I was there on that. We're going to go Scoundrel over eating anything alive here. You just hold up Cobble. I suppose making another 6/6 is going to be lethal enough. Yeah, you're right, chat. We're winning. We'll preserve our winning line. 4, 5, 6. I'm just thinking ahead to what changes where we can hold this up and cast something. If we drew an Awakener, we could do that. Still can't block. We just need to not die. Corpse Cobble now does nothing, so they just get it. I mean, I could untap my zombie for style points. Should do that. Untap my zombie. Technically, it's better, and we know about technically correct. Huh. Could actually matter here, especially at instant speed. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Well, they can't block, so I'm sending the 6/6, and then we can just hold up the culling. And probably get them, unless they draw something great here, this should be enough. You would Scoundrel. I liked holding up the culling, but I guess we can't protect this anymore, so adding another threat makes some sense too. This is interesting. So I can kill the thing that could, but this like seems like they're just looking to block here. So, and they may even add a third body, but if we draw a swamp, we could... no, we can't even do that. If they have no other blocking... Yeah, I should kill it now because we still have the Eaten Alive for one of these two. And we even have the mana to pay for it. Yeah, we can take the damage, kill a blocker, and win. What I'm trying to ask myself is what happens if that fails? If that final card thwarts our plan, what's the best way to recover? It isn't lethal if I do what? Oh, right, because they're going to get life. Thanks. So this does... So then we really do need to prevent some damage now. Because this could go badly for us if we can't win next turn and we take too much damage here. Yeah, that's fair, Media. But now we kind of get to, like, let's see what this is. Okay, oh, and a crawl? Interesting. So now we could crawl, and this is a zombie as well. If we crawl back the outlaw, we can threaten to win here. That's pretty good. So let's do that, and then we can scoundrel instead when they do what they need to not lose. Or maybe we still outlaw. All right. They're just giving it to us? That's fair. It was still lethal because I could do it after. But in case something didn't work out, I didn't want to miss value on the zombie. I'm always worried about it not working out and me having to win after it fails to work out. Well, let's see. They were on 9. Yeah, no, it was necessary. That's right. It was. Hat's doing math like me. And technically, Hat put question marks on all of his comments, so it's like, maybe? Am I dumb? Oh, yep. Yep. But it also shows a great life hack. Keep an open mind that you might be wrong about stuff and hedge with that possibility in your statements, and people don't get as annoyed at you as much. That's another, good call, Prof. Prof's different line was just kill the life gainer, take it, and swing back for the win. Yeah, you can't hedge every statement. I'm just saying it's something to keep in mind. Just keeping in mind that you might not be right every time. I mean, it's something I needed to learn. Two drop. How about that angler? Angler is perfect draw here. No. Magic gods. That is mean. That is not what I said. No, I was specific. It was for me. I think they're working me over. I think this is complete lack of magic justice. Well, when a blue-black deck passes on 3 with no play... hey, Blade. Welcome, Blade, Fury, and Raiders. But I gotta go for the hobbling zombie. I just expect it's gonna get countered. We're gonna try. Flip the switch. All right, I'll take it. Not gonna attack with this though, because there's definitely a pause, so it could be the 2/1 flyer. I'm not gonna let that 2/1 flyer eat my Awakener for 1 point of damage. I think that's what it was. Oppo just didn't want to do it. Maybe they're sandbag. They're sandbagging something. It could have been a startle, though. Like, they wouldn't have necessarily wanted to cycle a startle there. This, though, also, you know, it suggests if they start... This is explained by startle or the -2. Either way, given that I want the Awakener to have something to sack, we're going to go ahead and call this. I think, like, actually, you know, it's kind of going to be 2 for 1-ish no matter what, because either it's startle or the 2/1 flyer. And that's going to be good for them regardless. But we're going to make up that goodness with an Awakener sack if that's what they've got. Because then it's going to take up their turn, right? Hey, that's good. Glad we got a trade there. Makes me think maybe the Awakener's not going to survive the turn, though. All right, no. Got what I wanted. It was fine. I recognize that that might have been what it was, baby, but the result was not so bad for me that I wanted to avoid it, you know. And then look, it didn't even happen, so it was fine. I don't think we had any more 1-drops to think about. I guess we had Larder Zombie, sorry. So I had Larder Zombie and Consider, so I should have left the island up. That was a mistake. I let Auto Tap get me there.
All things that I used to know have gone out the window.
Yeah, I guess attacking with the token doesn't do much. But I was 100% gonna sack it, so it felt irrelevant to me because there was nothing that was gonna change my play. But I hear you, it didn't actually do anything. This isn't quite as good as getting their last 2, but we're gonna go ahead and take the 2 spell of No Way Out and Angler ahead of dropping the Hound. Almost accidentally clicked myself. Oh, it's target opponent anyway. Why do I have to target if we got 1 opponent? That's weird. Usually this is automated in that spot because there's only 1 target on this thing and there's only 1 choice for it. So why did it even make me choose? Yeah, I can totally see some other spots where it would have been actively incorrect, like because it had a negative effect on my expectations. But in that case, I don't think it did anything either way. Oh, F off. It's implied, but it was what I said after. I thought I said something after that was specific enough. Because I was saying what I wanted to do with the Angler. So, yeah, but did I say something after that was like, I mean, if I'm asking for an Angler to sacrifice to my 4/4, it can't be my opponent's Angler. That's what I'm saying. I don't know what this card is. If it's a counterspell, I'll be sad. But then we have Revenge and Corpse Cobble, so let's give it a try. I guess we can attack first, though. Maybe they'll do something to clarify. There we go. So that does clarify, and I don't want to just let them eat here, although we could Corpse Cobble for some value that doesn't suck, and still Revenge. Well, we could, yeah, we'll Revenge and then hold Cobble up is basically what's going to happen here. And then we can Cobble at the end of their turn for a nice threat. And now they're out. We know they're out of cards as well. So kind of a Millhousey moment here with the way this is playing out.
Everything's coming up Millhouse.
Although, are we dead? Let's see. 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. So I'm talking about Millhouse, but actually you're right. Yeah, we're maybe it is an appropriate Millhouse meme because it feels like it's going our way, but we're actually on track to lose. But we do get a flyer here, so we might have to go Corpse Cobble for the 6/6 and then make the flyer to just chump. And then we are not dead, but we don't have a crackback win off Dreadhound. Maybe we cast Dreadhound and win. No, but we still need another attack. So yeah, that's the way it's going to happen. All right, we figured it out at least. We figured it out. We are not going to be dead to a dead draw. Like, we actually survive even if we draw a blank here. And that's not a blank. We get to Angler and Outlaw, and that's going to get us some life back and some defense in the air. So great draw, actually. It was a predictive Millhouse, apparently, because now it's come up Millhouse. It's not really coming up Millhouse if you're still on track to lose, is it? Say no blocks, and Dreadhound as a surprise friend is going to be trouble. We can even consider first and maybe fish for counter magic or something. Let's see what happens, or for a pause. Oh, there was no pause, so that's good. Revenge just says we can win, and we still have the Chumper if they have something here to stop this. I don't think they do. I don't think there was a pause, but we're going to go for a Dreadhound, or a Revenge win instead of a Dreadhound maybe win. Yeah, we'll send this back. Oh, look. Oh, I was going to go say good game because they were just being friendly, but it took away my ability.
Bender, honey, we love you.
Shut up, baby, I know it.
Nice start for a pretty medium blue-black deck, but as said, it's going to be very draw dependent. And actually, we've drawn some of the worst end of our deck. It's just been good for us in those moments. How about that stupid 3/2 Drain Vampire actually doing work for us this run? I can't see keeping this. Obviously, as I often say, show me the island on top, and we love this hand, but you can't. So I'm going to send this back. Look for something a little more reliable early. I don't know why I just thought of this now, but I want to share that I'm excited for my wife today. She's got a job interview. She's had several job interviews lately, and they've gone well in the sense that they have liked her, and she's gotten actually a couple of offers. They just haven't been for the role she really wants. And today is, like, I think the first job interview she's got with a place where she, at least from what she can see right now, she wants it. You know, like, this is one I think that if it goes well, could be the place where she ends up. And so I'm just super excited for her. I totally believe in her, and she's a great interviewer. Like, she talks shop great. And I just feel like she's so good at presenting herself and showing her worth that if this company doesn't receive it, like, it's almost an alert. Like, if you don't love my wife, she shouldn't work for you anyway. Like, because she's too good for you if you don't realize immediately how awesome she is for your organization. This is a great mulligan, right? Why did I mull? Huh. Because we had nothing to do until turn 4 if we didn't find an island? She is an interior designer, which is often mistaken by people as like interior architecture, or, I mean, as interior decoration, but it is more like interior architecture. Like interior designer, people go to decoration, but real interior design is a form of architecture. Yeah, I mean, Mehdi and I just disagree on a lot of things. Mehdi is totally cool with maybe if you hit a land by turn 4, you'll do something. That hand did nothing until turn 4 without an island. I don't know how you just snap that off as a keep or call it bad. I don't. It's the. I feel like you're hyperbolic about this stuff, Media. Like it's bad, like double bad. It was a double bad mulligan, bad mulligan to take a hand that had nothing to do, like nothing to do. As I recall, it didn't do anything, and with a land, it could do something by 4. Oh, please. Here. If you're going to be hyperbolic for my attention, then I'm just going to say no. No. Come on. You know I respect you, Media, but that's... Come on. But you can let him out of jail, too. That was just a statement. You don't need to go away for 10 minutes here. I'll do it. Where is it? Yeah, thank you, Hat. It was a statement, not an actual punishment. Let's see. Awakener is late. That would have been a nice opener. I guess we're just on zombie. Although without a fourth land, Awakener sacking the Angler has something. I'm scared of this deck though. Look at this thing. Zombie is important though with the Stormseeker out. Wow, what a great deck from Oppo. She doesn't have anything set up to do consulting work. She could, it's just not a thing she wants to set up, but it's actually, I think, you know, of the myriad of things that she's amazing at with regards to interior design, her ability in a 1 hour conversation to help you completely re-understand and reimagine your situation is incredible. She will observe things that you just were like, oh my God, that's it. You know, so many people do that after talking with her about design stuff. Anyway, we're going to go max mana, even though this doesn't like get a counter or anything here. Send Death Touch, get a 3/3. I'd rather stay back on D. No, I don't. I want this to continue threatening the Stormseeker. Like, if we did that, we send in the zombie, we have a 3/3. I like that zombie's holding back Stormseeker and potentially whatever especially whatever Stormseeker hastes up on the ground. And frankly, if they send the Hoarder, I'd probably just trade off the Blood Chief. No, they didn't. Bummer that we can't find land, but I guess we do the one thing we can. Throw down an Awakener and next turn at least we have like sack the angler and flip if this resolves. Yeah, it's a good point, Mike. There's really no assuming, like, I would be pretty happy if I were Oppo to have to trade off an already valued creature. And there you go. Oppo's like, we got to get rid of that thing. I think we're too far behind on mana, really, to recover here, but we got a great suite of spells. If we can find a land off the top so we don't actually have to Awakener as our way to get out of this mess, we might have the tools to survive, but at 10 against an Alchemist, probably not, honestly. And now, yeah, I'm going to let this one go. We can't win from here. Maybe it's a slightly early scoop, but it was, we're like 99% to lose there, I would say.
So you get nothing. You lose. Good day, sir.
Sometimes I play that for Oppo. Sometimes I play that for me. Today we played it for me. Yeah, Alchemist was our hero in our sweet red-white spells deck from the other day. Nice, we'll keep this happily. Even found a second swamp so we can cast the Culling. Although kind of done on land now, for a while anyway. Deck, if you want to take requests. Angler into Outlaw is what we hope to do. And Tome is going to let us do it. All right. Nice to trade 1 for 3, but if they're not doing anything else other than toming, that's also fine. They're going to draw a card with Tome. We're going to draw a card with Organ Hoarder. What do you think is better? I think with they're about to draw a card and with the Hoarder, we're going to save this till their hand is emptier. Yeah, they might have Counterspell up. Are we going to play around that? It just, with this explaining it, I just can't play around a Counterspell. I'm going to make him have it. And don't need the land, don't need the brand. Let's take the Thief. Brand might not be bad here, but I'd rather just have a growing creature given that we're on the front foot vis-a-vis aggression. Well, kind of a 2 for 2 or a 0 for 0, depending on your perspective. I would trade off the Hoarder for that for sure. So we're going to make that offer. Hope they take it and then drop Blood Chief Angler. But if not, we probably go No Way Out Angler. Maybe we can wait on No Way Out. It's great to get their last 2, but it's a lot worse to get 1. You know what I mean? You don't want to let it get to only be 1. And with, yeah, so I'm going to take the risk, though. They've got some card draw. So, and they're about to draw anyway. I think they'll have 2 cards on our next turn. They won't go down to 1. It'll be unlikely. So let's just double creature it. Very funny, Mark Nee. I've seen it be good zeros of times myself. I've seen it not be actively bad, but I've never thought, oh no, how do I overcome this tome? And it looks so value laden. When I first saw it, I was like, maybe this seems could be good, but it's just clunky. And I think the real dagger for it is that you just don't get to choose which mode you're in on any given turn without some very weird non-use or luck, you know, like free or just that you could do either one. I mean, it's just you don't get to choose is my issue. We're gonna, if they want to race, we're thrilled with that, right? So go ahead, bring it. Now, of course, with this lost life mechanic, we could be setting up the deck to do some lost life bonuses, but we're not blocking. We're gonna try and race. There you go. Like I said, lost life bonus, but had to do it, and I still like our spot. In this case, we get culling and no way out. They don't have blocks anyway. We can hold up the culling and just no way out first. Sending both, though. Yeah, maybe they're thinking they're racing on the ground and just want to get rid of or the most power possible, but hard to know what Oppo is thinking. We're going to do this, though. Not going to get too greedy with this. Well, they're likely to have like one very good card and then one unknown card, because they're going to draw off the top and leave themselves with one of three. Sorry. Consider it noted.
Consider this. Consider this.
Flip and Geist Wave out. It's important to know that like their remaining card in hand is going to be more impactful / better than these two. Could make an argument for culling with shields down, especially given that. I think I'm going to do that because we've seen the flip. We can't pay for it. It would be so silly to let them untap and have this flipped, right? So let's kill this big boy. Great card in the stowaway, but hopefully not enough for Oppo at this point. Even the decay token's a good attack here. What's this on? It's on Chronicle, so they do get to tap our our chief, and we are flooding out a bit as far as that goes. So maybe Oppo has a chance here, but see, this is what I mean. It's not bad. It's not doing nothing. It did something very useful there. It's just not a great, it's not a card I want because it's so unreliable. You know that nighttime. Night and day. Well, Oppo's pulling ahead on card advantage. We just got to close this out before they can leverage it into stability. But this costing 2, not a bad cost at this point. They have plenty of mana left over. But if all they've got is drawing cards here, that's pretty good for us. Oh, strike that. They got the Geist Wave Elementalist combo now. But if that's all they do, then we still kind of slowly get there. I am going to send the token here, because they're just gonna their line of play here is chump, or quote, chump with Elementalist, but then save it with Geist Wave, draw a card, and rebuy the Geist Wave. But I want to at least pressure him with the zombie token here. Although, what am I using that for? What are we doing with that? We have Corpse Cobble, we have Ecstatic Awakener, Eaten Alive is no problem. We can just hard cast that. Dreadhound likes to be around when it dies, but really we're not leveraging the tokens for much more than damage here. So I'm going to go ahead and send all. We are so far behind on card advantage, though. Like, this wolf is going to hit us again for a card. This is going to draw him a card. This is going to draw him 2 cards, effectively, by returning the ambusher to hand and targeting itself with the wave. Hey, we traded a zombie token for a real card. That's not the worst. But here, I'll give you one of these.
Oh, here comes the flood.
Yeah, I know I'm setting myself up with the magic gods, but the meme's too good. Hey, Consider, like I said, Consider just feels great as a top deck in these spots.
Consider this.
This isn't doing attacking ever. This isn't attacking. Nah, we gotta take the action and look for something else. I just know that I'm gonna mill this and find land, but this is just not much worse than not much better than a land right now. Hey, that's actually all right. Little safety valve, and really, if they set themselves up to only block with the Elementalist, we can cobble to make Vigilance. Or not Vigilance, excuse me, Menace. So, yeah, Menace defeats the Chump loop if we can get there. Night versus day doesn't really change the value much on this stowaway. A loot is going to be nearly as good as a draw at this point in the game with this many cards in their hand. True. Geist Wave does kill the token, but if they go for that, we can at least Corpse Cobble the token again. And then it works the next time. Excellent observation, though, to make sure I consider that. Nice thing about 7 mana, at least, is that we Corpse Cobble, and if they try it immediately, we can Corpse Cobble again. Yeah, we do. And then if they go to try and kill the token with the Geist Wave, we make another one, and then they don't have the loop anymore, right? I guess new plan, we mill them out. No, that's not going to happen. But look how far behind we are. We're so far behind on cards. If we can come up with a win here, good on us. Oh, go for a second creature, please. And then maybe we have outs, removal outs to a win. No. So what are they doing? They don't have the wave in hand now, right? So maybe we do it. I guess we got to try. They do have the tapper up. That's true. Let's think about that. So we could do it, but they tap our menace attacker, and then they have a pretty big crackback actually. Yeah, I'm gonna save it for potentially for defense here. Yeah, this is interesting because look, here you go.
We will say goodbye to flesh and blood.
They're gonna tap the chief, but remember that Cobble is instant, and they won't have the tapper this time. If they get the Geist Wave back pre-combat, it could be okay. Even then, we still have the double Cobble. So I think this is interesting. We're not dead. We're for sure mostly.
Is only mostly dead.
But now we got 8 power. So Corpse Cobble says eat target 7/7, unless they like. We just don't want them to cast anything pre. Please just send your 7/7. But also, if they have an instant, they can grow it. So we might just be trading, but we got to try. And that's an interesting no attack from the 7/7. Mute that frickin' owl. Mute, he says. Okay, mute. There we go, mute. Well, we certainly pass here, right? Well, no, but see, here's the thing. They're going to cast their Deuter and get their bounce spell back. So it looks like it, but we're not going to have that dead to swing situation after this is over. We're really making them earn it, though. And we couldn't possibly draw more land, right? I mean, that's just, like, impossible. Sending both. Letting them do their thing again. Now we get Bane Blade and Corpse Cobble. It's gonna be tough to survive the next turn, honestly, but still mostly. We don't get double Cobble with this play, but I think we got to play a creature and not go for double Cobble. No, we're unfortunately not randomly running a Blood Pact, but that would be fun to get one of those wins. Now it's on Tapper as well, so the single Corpse Cobble could be yeah, okay, so now we gotta go. Well, it doesn't. I wish we could make separate ones. Here's the problem. Here is I can Corpse Cobble away these both, but it just makes a big thing, so it's not gonna be enough. I know, but I'm still doing the make him do it, right? Another good red deck doing the spells thing and being effective. So don't sleep on the red spells deck. Red is, quote, the worst color, but red is proving to be completely viable in a corrected, self-corrected metagame in which it's underdrafted and therefore has the density of parts to do its thing if you're the only one. Well played, Oppo. Good deck. In limited or constructed? I just asked because 11-0 isn't a record that is a single limited event. So I'm just trying to figure out if you're talking about two separate limited events or if you've made a red-white constructed deck you like. Well, hot start at 3-0, cool middle at 0-2. Let's get to the that magical 1,400 gems return, right? Come on. Come on, deck. Serve us up one more good one. Well, Buckeye adding to the evidence that red is entirely playable if the lane is open and you focus on spells. But I think you need both of those things. Because the lane is usually wide open. We got to keep this. I don't love nothing on 2, but we're likely to draw either action for our 3 mana or mana to get to our late game here. So this is a nice keep. I just don't love a turn 3 no way out being our first play, but I can't throw this back with both colors. And I will cast the No Way Out next turn if it's all we've got. I'm not going to leave the mana fallow just because it's a bad time to cast discard 2. Yep, so there you go. Not ideal, but we're not just leaving it. Way not ideal against blue-white, which is why we don't love this card at all. I was asked why I was even playing it. The answer is we over what, and while there are other medium replacement level cards to run, at least with 2 No Way Outs, I feel like it gives me this chance to get them, you know, to do something that is powerful enough to win games off of a couple of medium cards. But yeah, it's extra weak because in the format, people can discard stuff that has value to be discarded. And when you're not getting 2 full cards of discard value out of this, it's obviously loses a lot of luster. Yeah, in theory, it shouldn't be good at all in the format, but it turns out discarding 2 cards still sucks, you know? Yeah, go blank maybe would have been too good, but I also think they just wanted to do their decay thing. All right, we're getting stuck on 4, and the trouble is we don't want to revenge either of these. How are we doing on the race? We could race them to 16 and play a 2. I guess that's fine. Oppo stuck as well. Also, speaking of Falcon, I gotta do this one because it's so good. Yeah, I could revenge because they're short on lands. I just don't love the repeat value there. Hey, this is what I mean. Like, a couple of No Way Outs is pretty harsh, you know? If they can pile up and really affect an opponent. And in this case, we get to send in with, well, if I revenge now, it telegraphs it. But if I... And they're not going to block because of the shrinking, right? So they're never blocking anyway, so I'm just going to revenge now. I mean, they might have blocked to get, like, counters out of things, I suppose. Maybe I should have thought of that. Like, I didn't really think through how I would have blocked in their shoes, and maybe there are some blocks they would have made that we could have blown out, but I'm fine with that result. Now they're going to 2-spell on some pretty medium stuff, and we're going to get their last 2 cards. Well, Abomination, not really medium. Now, what's our line? We got a couple of hordes, and they're at 10. We just start deploying the hordes into the Dreadhound. I don't think we even go for the No Way Out here because this is more impactful. Yeah, good to note they put it on the bottom. And we don't affect Night on their turn. That's not how it works anymore. But that's how it used to work, which is why you're, you know, why it's understandable your head's there. So yeah, I think we're just on the only blocks they have are here and here. So I am only questioning whether we attack with these zombies yet. I think we do. Oh, passing on our turn. No, I think we want the pressure on with these zombies. Gotcha, though. And not dead to a crackback. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 on a crackback. See it on the bottom? Yeah, you should be able to. There it is. I think this will be the first time I've seen the Scoundrel's ability go on the stack. Well, we do have No Way Out Angler in the air as an alternative play, but I still like the Horde. Although Flyer's no joke. Yeah, Hound value would have been a reason to hold the tokens. I was trying to find the reason to hold them and didn't see it, Mike, but that would have been it. Don't attack with the tokens yet, get the Hound value. Totally fair. And we'll get the Captain gone, and I guess you can get spells back, right? So we'll get Startle gone. Basic land is kind of GG. Don't see how they survive that. I guess that's with another blocker they could. But let's see. Let me just make sure we got. So we attack in. We're with the Dreadhound. We're guaranteed 4, so that are a virtual 2. We swing away with everything, and well, it's a virtual 4. Like, well, it's not. What am I saying? It's a guaranteed 2, so that are a virtual 4. Sorry, because the Dreadhound. These will die, and the Dreadhound will definitely ping them for 2. They have 3 blockers for 4 things, so I think they can go to 2 and not die, but then these have to die as well. So blockers that died, yeah, don't help. So I think we're just good to Dreadhound crash, especially if we mill some creatures. 1 creature. So now they're virtual 5, 4, 3. All right, I'm sending. I don't see how they live through this either. With not enough blockers to block. If they could block literally all 4 of these and only take Dreadhound damage, then I think they could live. But one of these things has to get through, and that means they can't survive. Good boy. Big doggo. All right. The near profit 4 and 1. Love it. Now let's get some actual profit. Nice. True curve out. I consider that a win. Oh, we're 4 and 2, sorry. in denial of my other loss. Thank you. Hound we love, but we're not really close to it, and we want more mana. It's tough, but I'm going to take the action. We also have a crawl that we can use to get it back later. Awakener a little bit late. Would have been an even more ideal turn 1 play given the Observer. But I'm going to use all my mana, and then we can set up a potential Awakener and sack with Awakener in 4 mana, 1 fell swoop. And do we offer the offer for trick? Trouble is Startle is a blowout and the 2/1's a blowout, so I'm gonna say no blocks. Too many common and uncommon blowouts with that mana. To that end, if I attack, we could be facing the same blowout. Both of the cards I was just playing around also affect the Observer on attacks. So if I'm serious about playing around it, I should just go Zombie Pass here. And yeah, I'm going to do that. It just reads, or at least let's cast this pre, and then if they counter it, we know we have an attack. But yeah, with that pause especially, nah, I'm not going to dive into that. Yeah, I don't think they would have blocked, so we kind of missed 2 damage there, but we also don't know what else is in their hand. They may have had the alternative play. Oh, and also, didn't we have that? Isn't that a card? Where is it? Hey, we do. Look, I remembered. Can you believe it?
You're not dangerous at all, are you? Oh, it's killed me. It's killed me.
We don't see that card much. I'm not sure if I've missed it before, but there you go. I think that's a debut. Hoarder of our own seems fine. Put that in hand. Get him for a couple cards next turn. I can't say the name. I can attack with the Observer. I liked it threatening the Hoarder, though. Technically 6 mana thanks to the Observer if we use it for the No Way Out, but there's nothing really to do with the 6 mana. I guess we can go No Way Out, Arrogant Outlaw. What's his full name? It's the first part. Malfoy is easy. It's the Draco, I think, is where it's Dre, right? Dr. Draco. So anyway, back to this situation. I think just No Way Out for 2 of their cards and the Awakener is fine. But the Outlaw play, what does that get me? I guess we could send in, but again, they just block. They're happy to, we don't get damage in. Like, we're never going to get the drain on the Outlaw here. So I'm on No Way Out and Awakener and hold everything up. Argument for not even playing the Awakener so that they can't snap it off. Yeah, I'm gonna risk it. Biscuit risking engaged. Nice, Buckeye. Did you feel like you had excellent drafts, or were you kind of like I loved our red-white deck, but it fell in our lap in a way that I can't expect every time. We got like seven uncommons that worked with it, or whatever. 8. Like, we had 8 synergistic uncommons that really made it sing, so I just wasn't sure about where it was overall. 4 Sacred Fire, yeah. So 12, sorry. 4 Sacred Fire, the flip, the double-faced spell flipper, 3 of the pingers. Oh, maybe it was just 8. Yeah, and then 3 of the pingers, yeah. 8. Yeah, Harry Potter has lost me thanks to JK's awful big mouth. Look, you can call it cancel culture. I think we need to rebrand it free market culture. Free market culture is killing JK, not cancel culture. Anyway, are we dead? I'm just talking about JK and not looking. 3, 4, 5, 6, 4, 5, 6, 7. We are looking at going to 1, so we probably need to figure out how to drain. But we can't really drain. I guess we could send the Awakener. Maybe I just need to sack and draw off the Awakener, and that's the place we start. Because I'm not seeing the... like, these flyers are doom. We need something to help with flyers, right? Words matter culture. Actions have consequences culture. Oh, if we were not dead before, we are certainly there now. All right, well, we got to our 4 wins. I love that. You know, medium blue-black still got us basically to profit. And now, yeah, Corpse Cobble's kind of interesting too. Just a lot of interesting stuff, but just nothing that really gets us there. Can't get him to 20 from here. We'll do a fun. We'll go out our way though. Yes, absolutely, Rob. I think I've spoken about it a lot. You know, separating art from artists is important to be able to do. But in some cases, you're not able to do it, right? I mean, that's what I'm saying. It's like, I'm not going like, oh man, I adore Harry Potter top to bottom, but I'm going to force myself to not consume it because I'm going to protest against this author. For me, it's more like, I don't love Harry Potter as much anymore because I don't enjoy it as much anymore because I'm having trouble separating it from the author. And if that's your reality, that's okay. That's what I'm talking about with it being a free market thing, not a cancel culture thing. If it was like, well, even if, you know, even if it was cancel culture, that's still the free market in action, right? But what I'm getting at is that, like, for my entertainers who have entertained me over the years and then fallen, it's hit or miss on whether or not I can stick with them. I played Michael Jackson on the Starting Soon song of the day recently. Am I supposed to never play MJ again? Because he's had accusers and I believe victims. Like, I don't know the full details of what wrongs Michael Jackson did to people in his time on this earth, but I'm aware that there's a likelihood there, and I'm somehow still able to say, okay, well, this artist is troubled and has some deep issues that I'm not cool with, but I can still manage to separate that from the music and enjoy the music. Bill Cosby, for me, is ruined. I don't laugh at Bill Cosby anymore. I don't find hearing him funny. I don't like reciting I don't recite his jokes as though they're funny. Bill Cosby is just straight up ruined. And this is not me on a cancel culture level deciding who's canceled and who's not. This is me reacting to art given my knowledge of the artist. And there's all sorts in between too. Louis C.K. that might be my biggest heartbreak. Like, Louis, why did you have to be such an asshole? God damn it. Like, he was my favorite stand-up, and now he's this dude whose humor still creeps into my brain sometimes. His one-liners are still with me, and they still kind of come out. I mean, I think I even said when I recounted one of his one-liners on stream recently. I think I prefaced it with disgraced, a disgraced comedian once said, you know. Anyway, I'm kind of rambling on cancel culture and art versus artist. And my main comment, though, is it's complicated, but that and that you're of course free to continue enjoying art from a artist with some trouble, a problematic artist, shall we say. You can enjoy art from problematic artists, but it's good to stay in touch with what makes them problematic and having eyes wide open and brain wide open around that stuff and being like, yes, I know J.K. Rowling is a turd bag, but I really love these books and I can compartmentalize. I'm still enjoying these books while knowing she's a turd bag. That's cool. I just am now unable to do that personally. So. Yeah, and but you can't. It is absolutely possible to separate art from artist. It is possible to separate Ryan from his gems. You just have to beat me more than I win. But a fine result today. We'll take it. And had some fun matches, interesting stuff. I am going to bid farewell to my streaming audience and my YouTube friends, and then I'm going to be back on later for a sweatsuit. So next thing up on YouTube after this should be a sweatsuit video. We'll see. And I hope you all have a lovely time until I see you at the next video. Take care, YouTube friends.